Hello, and welcome back to Nick's Hobbies and Interests.
It has been a while, so welcome back. Now, 3 months in, let's do a review. This time round, it's a Doctor Who collector's set, all 11 Doctors. It does not include the following Doctors after Matt Smith's time, and it does not include the War Doctor either. This is just from William Hartnell as the first Doctor, up to the, 2009-2010's appearance of Matt Smith. This collector's set does include 2 double doors that work out as a viewing window. As you open the box up, you can see draped down one side and draped down the other is a listing of every Doctor that's been and a basic background of that Doctor. And then of course you have the viewing window itself revealing every Doctor from 1 to 11. Anybody born in the 1990s probably joined roughly when this rebooted back in 2005. And then of course others, big Who fans, have gone back and watched the older episodes and the movie and likes. Moving to the back of the box, it's contents listing more than anything. It's got a picture of each Doctor, everything included inside this collector's set. The box is pre-owned, this has been pre-loved. When we get to the inside, you'll see all the figures are still tied in. I think whoever's owned it, apart from the actual outer box, I don't think the figures themselves haven't been played with, even though it does say 5+. Opening panels are on the right and the left. This will allow you to slide the tray out. All 11 figures are tied to cardboard backing, keeping them all nicely secure. The Sonics and any accessories, again, are the same, but they are fixed to the front with a little bit of tape on each piece. On quick glance, knowing this was pre-owned, my intentions were to take every figure out, pose them with their accessories, and photograph the entire lot. But when I realised they were all still tied down and their accessories were all snug in their little pockets, I thought twice about that. I thought, no, let's maintain that value and let's leave them all tucked in. But with that being said, let's take a closer look at each figure, because these are very, very highly detailed figures. Now, through the shop, we have sold Doctor Who figures in the past, and our average price on them is £5 each, going up to maybe 15. We've had a few little exclusive pieces that have gone that bit more. But as for these, looking at them, knowing that they've got their Sonics and their other accessories, if you were to break this box down and sell them individually, I think people would buy them at £10 a figure. This is a collector's set, and the retail value, when we've done our research, was about £100 as a complete set. Let's go through each Doctor one by one, starting with William Hartnell. I've taken close-ups, still images, and I'm going to give you a little background on them. William Hartnell was the first Doctor back in the good old days of black and white. He was the Doctor from 1963 to 1966. Regenerating into Patrick Troughton. Troughton went from 1966 to 1969 before regenerating into the third Doctor, played by Jon Pertwee. John would continue on for 4 years, going from 1970 to 1974. The third Doctor was originally exiled to Earth, but later on died from radiation on an alien planet after returning some form of a jewel. Regenerating into Tom Baker. The lovely guy did 6 years through the 1970s, where everything was about colour and how you looked. Style was at its peak. He shone brightly for 6 years, taking us to 1981, where he passed the mantle over to the 5th Doctor. At this point, Peter Davison did a 2-year stint, portraying the Doctor for another 2 years up until 1984. The Doctor sacrificed himself at this point, causing a new regeneration cycle, and there we move into Doctor number 6. With no relation, Colin Baker then stepped into those shoes, filling us again with more bright, bold colours and style and influence for just another 2 years before he indeed regenerated. I am going to break in and say here, I don't think the action figure, the head sculpt, does it justice, but let's move on. It is indeed Sylvester McCoy. He remained the Doctor from 1987 all the way up to 1996, where he would regenerate in a hospital after travelling to America. This is when Paul McGann would come in and do the movie in 1996. Now this is a funny moment because if you're up to date with Doctor Who, you know John Hurt would be the War Doctor. We would have had, in theory, in Doctor Who storyline, that would have been where the War Doctor goes. And in this collection is where his figure would stand. Now I don't need to tell you that this is when the reboot happened. Christopher Eccleston took the stage as the Ninth Doctor. He was beloved by many, and unfortunately, I believe it was due to disagreements, he only did the one season. I believe he has gone on to do audiobooks, but back when it rebooted in 2005, he had a fantastic season. Regenerating right at the end, saving Rose, and taking her home. We then, of course, met David Tennant as the 10th Doctor. He's beloved and has returned multiple times since he originally regenerated. The BBC just keep recycling him. He's a fan favourite, and he keeps the original fans returning every time his name or face is flashed in front of them. As I said, the BBC didn't want to get rid of him, but occasionally he was regenerated or went through a regeneration cycle but didn't actually regenerate. Until eventually he did. And we got Matt Smith as the 11th entry in the Doctor Who franchise, and exactly where this box set ends. Matt Smith again brought back some legendary creatures. Not only did he fight the Daleks and the Cybermen, but my personal favourite, he went up against the Weeping Angels, and for the first time in a long time, the Doctor lost. And I'm going to end it here because I loved the Rory and Amy Pond episode where the Weeping Angels just came in and messed things up for them. It was perfect. Many more things happened. Of course, Matt Smith's story continues, but this box set doesn't continue past that. So let's end it here and take a longer look at every figure in full. As I may have mentioned earlier, I didn't want to take them all out of their packaging. They are still tightly wrapped in there, and including their accessories. But as you can clearly see, there is plenty of points of articulation. So posing, moving them about, changing them up a little bit, would easily be possible. Many of them actually have multiple layers to them, so if you did want to do more on that aspect, whether you wanted to weather them or add additional detail, you easily could. With them being layered and not just completely printed, it allows you to be a bit more flexible with what you want to do. Whether you want to pose them as if the wind is going through their coat and have them slightly out, you can do. It's not like it's a single mould, which in my opinion is great. Like say, if you're doing a diorama and you want the Doctor in more of an action pose than a static museum pose, then you have the ability to do so. This is a review video, not a promotional video, so let's actually get round to my opinion and thoughts on this package. As a collector's set, if you are a huge Who fan, I think this is definitely for you. In this case, with this box has seen a bit of damage. It's not brand new, it's not mint, but it's still a really awesome set. I personally would display it with the doors open and allow every figure to be seen. I'm also the kind of collector that would not take them out of the box. They are pristine, they look great inside the box. You can display them inside the box as well, so you don't need to take them out. As for money, £100 seems fair. There's 11 figures. In theory, you're getting one for free. We've got it in our shop at 100. I've seen them online are roughly £100. Actually, now I've got one in hand. Yes, I can see why that would be the price point. It's fair. I wouldn't give it to a 5-year-old though. Please don't. This is a nice set for a collector, not a kid that's 5 who might chew the heads or just throw them around the room. Collectors only. And that's enough. As a review, yes, top quality. I think the action figures and facial sculpts are there. I'm very impressed. And before it's sold, I wanted to get it in the light box, do my review, and get this out there and just show you all. This is a review video, but if you're a Who fan, feel free to comment below and just say which Doctor you liked, which episode you liked, which villain or enemy you're a fan of. Feel free. I'm a Who fan myself, so please dive in and leave a comment below. The one thing I will avoid is the politics regarding everything that's kind of going on with it at the moment. I've stopped watching after Matt Smith. I jumped in now and again, but it's not for me now, I'm afraid. But anything before Matt Smith and before, you're safe with me. I will respond and reply and definitely dive deep into a conversation with you. Until next time, take care.